Welcome to another dev update for ServerJockey. So there's been a few releases over the last few months. The last two releases have been version 0.15 and 0.16. Both of them had quite a few small features added, which I wanted to cover in this dev update video. So first up, the homepage in the ServerJockey web app. The information about the server has been improved a little. It's a little bit faster. It's not as CPU intensive because I sourced the CPU information from a different location. There's also some caching as well happening. So a more important change that's happened recently is I've added some more restart options for servers. Currently just the Project Zomboid server. So this server here is currently started. The restart button is now a drop-down, so you can select to restart the server immediately. There's also the option now to restart after warnings or on empty. So once the server becomes empty of players, it will automatically restart. So these gives you some softer restart options in case there are people on the server and you need to restart the server, but it's not urgent. So if you change some configuration, need to restart it, you can have it automatically restart after 5-minute warnings or when empty. These are also available in the Discord bot. So as you can see on our Project Zomboid commands here, you can use the commands to restart after warnings or on empty. So moving on, player death notifications was a feature that people have asked for. So when you die in game in Project Zomboid and other games where there's a message logged that a player has died, that information is captured now and logged. So under the chat log, if you select either session or both, I'm going to look at the last 7 days of log entries. So from testing I've done recently, as you can see, I've logged in and logged out, but also where my character has died, there's an entry for that death as well. So this is in the web app, it's logged and can be seen in the chat log. Also in Discord, if I just look at some of the player events from recent testing, we can see here the same information where I've logged in. Player Sale has died with some additional information that was trapped from the death event and then logged out. So that's another neat feature which people have been requesting. Next feature is some new Discord commands around whitelisting in Project Zomboid. So before you could whitelist a user based upon their Discord ID and it would generate a name based upon their Discord handle. So those commands are still there. You could also just add or remove a player from the whitelist by name. What's new is the add for Discord whitelist command here. So you can specify the Discord handle like the @username, as well as specify a particular name, and it will create a whitelist account for that name and DM the password to the Discord user. So it's a more flexible way of creating a user by being able to specify any name that you want. There's also a password reset command option, which will work not just on whitelist servers, but just on any server, because the whitelist is used for the account entries for a Project Zomboid server. So again, you can put in the Discord ID and you can optionally specify a name. So that's the name it'll reset the password for, and it will DM the password to that user. Okay, so next up is the browser extension. Just to quickly recap, the browser extension allows you to use the Steam Workshop to add and remove mods to your Project Zomboid configuration. So on the right here is the extension panel. So this mod here I've got here is already being used. It's in the configuration. So what I have done is I've just made some improvements to how this works, so it's a bit more robust. one change is in the UI is this save button here is now floating at the bottom, so you don't have to scroll all the way down to click save. So just to give you an example of where am I going? Workshop, search. So I'll go to the propane and gasoline mod. So here is the mod, and over here I can then add the mod and add whichever mod ID I want and save. But previously with this mod, because of some of the comments people left here where they've put in mod ID : and whatever, that was screwing up the scraping process. So it's more robust now, so it's properly processing this, so you can add and remove that mod if you want, and others which were impacted by similar problems. So that's that. Now moving on. So I'm switching to the Grafana dashboard, which is a separate system. Prometheus has been integrated with ServerJockey. So metrics about servers that you host in ServerJockey will be pushed into Prometheus. And in Grafana, I can get metrics back about the CPU and memory usage by those servers. I've covered all this in a previous video, so I won't go into details. But in the recent releases, I've added a feature where the errors are now pushed into Prometheus. So for Project Zomboid and most other servers, if it finds any errors in the log, it'll just push the error into Prometheus, just the count of errors. So you know how many errors there are, but not any details about the errors. You will have to look at the logs for that. So as you can see here from my Project Zomboid server, there's a count of 4 errors, which is expected. Typically, you'll have a few errors from with the Project Zomboid server when you start it. So in Grafana or Prometheus, you can set like thresholds and raise alerts if you would like. So that's all of the main features here. There's one more feature, which I'll just jump over to Pterodactyl to show you. So now I've switched over to Pterodactyl, which is using the Docker distribution of ServerJockey. A new feature I've added is the console is now interactive. So you can type in help and you will see all the commands. So these are the CLI commands. So I've basically just made them available in the Docker distribution. So you can run any of these commands on your instance, such as get the server information, players, which I believe there's no players on this one at the moment. You can create instances and make any changes that the commands allow. So that's it for this dev update.